Brains. Welcome to the Drunken Zombies podcast, your daily dose of addictive zombie stories. I'm Adrian, and boy, are we excited to have you join us for this brand new show.
Greetings, listeners. I'm Julia.
We're going to cover a new addictive zombie story every day, all in a fun, scary way, with masterful storytelling that keeps you craving for more tales of brains and mayhem.
It's going to be a wild ride.
So strap yourselves in as we enter a world where controlling zombies was once thought to be foolproof, where the dead are brought back to life using neural implants called Z-brains. These Z-brains aren't for your grandma's hip replacement. They're actually being used as weapons in a brutal new kind of warfare.
What's truly frightening is how this story takes something as final as death and manipulates it for something so sinister.
Our story focuses on Controller 314, but everyone calls her Puppetmaster. Can you imagine having that on your business card?
I think it speaks volumes about her role in this whole Z-brain operation.
She basically controls squads of these zombified soldiers, directing them in warfare. But here's the kicker. She's a puppet master controlled by someone else. Talk about layers of power dynamics, right? So picture this puppet master's in this super high-tech lab watching experiments on a zombie strapped to a table. This zombie, they call him Echo, does something totally unexpected, something that makes everyone question the whole Z-brain control thing.
It challenges everything we think we know about the Z-brain. Think about it. Real-world brain-computer interfaces are being developed to help people to restore function, but the Z-brain is like a twisted, extreme version of that. What if instead of healing this tech was used to completely hijack a person's mind, their very being?
And that's what makes this so creepy. Echo for a split second becomes conscious again. His eyes clear up and he looks right at Puppetmaster, begging her to end his suffering. Imagine seeing that, knowing you're sending these beings to their deaths over and over.
It raises the question, what does it mean to be human or even sentient when death itself is manipulated like this?
And the story doesn't shy away from this ethical dilemma. Puppetmaster is immediately hit with a wave of guilt. She orders a total lockdown, but her boss, Commander Stone, isn't really interested in figuring out what went wrong. He's more worried about the consequences for him.
We learn a lot about Commander Stone through this reaction. He sees zombies as disposable tools, nothing more. His threat to reassign Puppetmaster, sending her out into the field where she could easily become one of them, highlights the kind of danger she's in for even questioning the system.
He's all about maintaining control. But Puppetmaster's starting to see things differently. This glimpse of humanity in Echo, it's changed her. She's grappling with the ethical implications of what they're doing. It's like a battle between those who want to control everything and those who are forced to confront the human cost.
It makes you think about how we respond to the unknown. Stone wants to cling to his power, impose order on a chaotic world. But Puppetmaster's wrestling with a different kind of chaos, the chaos within herself and the systems she serves.
So Puppetmaster, feeling trapped and guilty, decides to go rogue. She knows it's a huge risk, but she has to investigate this Z-brain anomaly, even if it means becoming a fugitive.
It's a classic hero's journey, but in this twisted dystopian world, the hero isn't fighting to save humanity. She's fighting to understand what it even means to be human in a world where death is just another form of control.
Her search takes her into the city's underbelly, where she meets some shady characters. One guy, Finch, hints at a black market for Z-brain tech. It suggests that there are forces at play beyond the military people who want to exploit this technology for their own gain.
That brings us to an interesting point, wouldn't you say? This black market raises the question, is it just the military that seeks to exploit these Z-brains? What happens when this tech falls into the wrong hands? It's a chilling thought.
And it gets even more complex because who's to say these rogue players would be any less ethical than the military? They might even be worse.
Exactly, and this is where the story really starts to get under your skin. If death itself can be bought and sold, what does that say about the value we place on life?
Welcome back to the Drunken Zombies podcast. I'm Adrian. We're about to head into some seriously uncharted territory. Remember where we left off. Puppetmaster's on the run, searching for answers about the Z-brain anomaly.
But she's not just running and hiding.
Right.
She's actually got a plan, and it's a pretty audacious one.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
She decides to fight back against the system that created her, using her knowledge of the Z-brain network to unleash chaos. She hacks into the system and sets off a massive zombie uprising. Imagine an entire city overrun by thousands of zombies battling each other. It's pure pandemonium.
Wow, talk about a desperate move.
Yeah.
But why would she do that? What's she trying to achieve?
It's a desperate act, but there's a method to her madness. By pushing the Z-brain network to its breaking point, she's hoping to expose its weaknesses, maybe even trigger more anomalies like what happened with Echo. Remember, she wants answers.
That makes sense. She's trying to understand the glitch in the system, the thing that allowed Echo to regain consciousness for that brief moment.
Exactly. And during this crazy zombie battle royale, something really interesting happens.
Oh, what's that?
The zombies start acting in ways that go against their programming. They're not just mindless hordes anymore, they're forming groups, strategizing, even showing signs of self-preservation.
Wait a minute. So they're not just following their basic programming, they're actually thinking for themselves.
It seems that way. This is where things get really mind-blowing. If the Z-brain control can be broken, even for a moment, it suggests that some part of the infected person's original consciousness might still be in there, buried beneath the surface.
So they're not just killing machines anymore.
Right.
There's something way more complex and possibly even more dangerous.
This raises a huge question for us. Is the Z-brain truly controlling the infected? Or is it more like it's suppressing their true nature? And if that suppression can be lifted, what comes out? Is it a flicker of the person they once were, or something totally new and terrifying?
Which makes you wonder what the end game really is. Is it about controlling the dead? Or is it about controlling something within ourselves that we're afraid to face?
Exactly. And all of this is happening against the backdrop of this epic zombie battle, which is vividly depicted in the source material. It's like watching a horror movie unfold in your mind.
And just when you think things can't get any crazier, Commander Stone shows up. He's furious that Puppetmaster has gone rogue, and he's determined to put her back in her place.
Their confrontation isn't just about power. It's a clash of ideologies. Stone represents the cold, calculating approach to control. He sees zombies as tools to be used and discarded. But Puppetmaster, she's wrestling with the moral implications of all of this. She's realizing that the zombies might be more than just weapons.
So because a battle for the soul of humanity set against this apocalyptic backdrop of chaos and destruction.
Right.
And as the tension reaches a fever pitch, Puppetmaster makes a last-ditch effort to disrupt the Z-brain network. She overloads her own modulator, hoping to free the zombies from their control.
It's a self-sacrificing act, almost like she's trying to atone for her part in all of this to create a better future, even if it means risking her own life.
But does it work? What happens to her?
But the outcome is totally unexpected. Instead of killing her, the overload has this bizarre effect, transforming both Puppetmaster and the zombies around her.
Whoa! Hold on, so she's not dead, but she's changed somehow.
This transformation throws everything we thought we knew out the window. It suggests that the Z-brain technology has unforeseen consequences, the power to alter life and death in ways we can't even comprehend.
And what about the zombies? How are they affected?
The story describes thousands of zombie eyes glowing with a newfound awareness. It's both mesmerizing and terrifying, like humanity's stepping into a new era, one where the boundaries between life and death are blurred beyond recognition.
Welcome back to the Drunken Zombies podcast. I'm Adrian, and we're about to hit the climax of our story. It's a wild one, folks, remember, where we left off total chaos zombies behaving in ways we've never seen before, and Puppetmaster, right in the thick of it, transformed by the very technology she tried to destroy.
The world she knew is gone. The old rules no longer apply. We're witnessing the birth of a new order, a new understanding of what it means to exist in this blurred space between life and undeath.
It's like the whole game has changed. And Commander Stone, the guy who thrives on control, I bet he's not handling this too well.
You're right, he isn't. This new breed of zombie completely throws off his carefully crafted hierarchy. Even his own soldiers are hesitant. They're training useless against an enemy that seems to operate on a pure instinct, driven by something more than just basic hunger.
So what happens to Puppetmaster? Does she even survive that modulator overload?
She does. And in the middle of all this, Puppetmaster wakes up to a world that's been flipped on its head. She's not dead, but she's definitely not the same either.
What's different? How has she changed?
There's this buzzing sensation, a feeling of energy coursing through her. The source material describes it as a link, a connection formed between her and the evolving zombies. Maybe the modulator overload didn't just disrupt the network, but created a new one.
So it's like she's plugged into this network of super zombies. And remember that scene with all those glowing zombie eyes fixed on her? Is this some kind of hive mind situation?
It's hard to say for sure, but there's definitely that implication. They're not just reanimated corpses anymore. They're exhibiting a new kind of awareness, a collective consciousness that sets them apart from the mindless hordes we've seen before.
Okay, so Puppetmaster's connected to these evolved zombies. What does she do with this newfound connection?
Her first move is one of defiance. She confronts Stone, pointing out the irony of his obsession with control in a situation that's spiraling out of control. Stone, despite his usual composure, is visibly shaken. The system he built his entire career on the meticulous manipulation of death is crumbling right before his eyes.
So the tables have turned. Puppetmaster, who was once controlled, is now the one challenging the very notion of control.
Precisely. And as Stone scrambles to regain some semblance of order, Puppetmaster realizes something profound. The era of the Z-brain as they knew it is over.
So what does she do? Does she try to take control of the situation herself?
No, she does something far more drastic. She jumps off the rooftop right into the heart of this newly awakened horde.
Whoa, hold on. She jumps into a crowd of super zombies. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
It's a symbolic act,
Yeah.
a surrender to the unknown. She's letting go of the past, the guilt, the burden of control, and embracing whatever awaits her in this uncertain future with these transformed beings.
It's a huge leap of faith, literally. What about Echo, the zombie who started it all with his plea for death? Where does he fit into this new world order?
He's a symbol of this evolution. He's no longer a mindless puppet, but a being with a distinct presence. The way he's described, there's this aura of calculated stillness about him. Puppetmaster even offers him her broken modulator almost like a gesture of peace or maybe even a test.
And does he take it?
He swats it away. It's a small gesture, but it speaks volumes. He's not interested in the old ways of control. He, along with the others, has moved beyond that.
So the big question remains, what happens next? What's the fate of Puppetmaster? What about humanity? Did she inadvertently create a zombie utopia or a nightmare beyond our wildest dreams?
That's the thing. This story leaves us with this chilling sense of ambiguity. The world has been irrevocably changed. Zombies have evolved, and their motives, their capabilities remain a mystery. And Puppetmaster, she walks into this unknown not as a controller, but as something else entirely.
It's like stepping off a cliff into a thick fog. You have no idea what's waiting for you down there.
Exactly. And that's what makes this story so compelling. It's like the story's asking us to confront our anxieties about the future, about the things we can't control. And it reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we create ourselves.
It's a sobering thought for sure. And the scariest part is that this isn't just a story. It makes you think about the real-world implications of technology, how our desire for control can sometimes backfire in unimaginable ways.
That's the beauty of good storytelling. It forces us to look at ourselves and the world around us in a new light.
This has been one wild ride, folks, but unfortunately we've reached the end of our story for today. But don't worry, we've got a graveyard full of chilling tales just waiting to be unearthed.
So if you enjoyed this terrifying journey, be sure to rate and follow for more Drunken Zombies episodes. We'll be back tomorrow with another spine-chilling story that'll keep you on the edge of your seat.
Until then, keep your brains safe and don't forget to check under your bed for any unexpected visitors. Sweet dreams.